This is the plaintiff, Michelle Paris. She says she hired the defendant to fix her refrigerator. And not only did he not fix the thing, he also left 2 gaping holes in her kitchen. Then took off, never to be heard from again. Now, she has $3,047.88 worth of work that needs to be done in her once beautiful kitchen. And that's just what she's suing for today. This is the defendant, David. He says he told the plaintiff to replace the entire refrigerator, but she insisted on a repair instead. He told her in order to fix it, he'd need to cut some holes in her wall to vent the new compressor he had to install. She agreed. The woman even purchased the mesh to cover the holes. Now she's suing him for over $3,000? Come on, lady. He's accused of freezing out a woman.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Michelle Perez, you are suing the defendant's company, represented here by David. You've asked us not to mention the company name or your last name, and we respect that, for $3,047.88 that you believe he owes you in damages because he did not complete a refrigerator repair project. Please tell me what's going on.
Thank you, Your Honor. When I first had trouble with my refrigerator, it was around last May 2013. I noticed it was very warm.
Okay, how old was it?
It was a fairly old refrigerator. It was purchased in 1988.
Okay.
It was a built-in refrigerator. And so when I contacted the defendant, they said I needed a new compressor. And I was okay getting a new compressor because it was a built-in refrigerator with a trim, with the paneling on it, which matched the cabinetry of the kitchen. It was a very expensive refrigerator. And it seemed much more cost-efficient to replace the compressor because, as explained to me by the defendant and by the manufacturer, who I was on the phone with quite a bit, if I replace the compressor, basically it's like getting a whole new refrigerator. And because it's a built-in refrigerator, similar to a Sub-Zero, and because it had all the matching cabinetry and it looked really nice and everything,
right,
I really couldn't afford to get another refrigerator of the same type.
Okay.
I went online and I have
okay, that's fine. So you decide to replace the compressor. Who orders the compressor part?
The defendant ordered the compressor.
Okay, so you bought the compressor. He ordered it, but you bought it?
Yes, in my kitchen. I asked him to speak directly with the manufacturer to find out exactly what was needed. He ordered the compressor as per whatever he said to the manufacturer back and forth. Okay. And I was fine with that.
So the compressor comes and it's the wrong compressor?
Well, he didn't know that. And then he said that in order to improve the circulation above the compressor, that he recommended that a heat register be installed above it to cut through my wooden soffit and to put in a heat register. And I said, is it going to look good? He said it's going to look very pretty, it's going to be beautiful, because I had custom wallpaper in the kitchen, which I had custom colored and everything, and I wanted to look nice. That's why I have a built-in refrigerator.
All right, so when he makes a hole in the soffit, and what goes wrong that day?
Well, he came over, and I expected to have the compressor installed and then the heat register put in above it. And he's in my kitchen, and I don't want to breathe over his neck or his shoulder, so I leave. I go into the other room, and he saws the hole in the soffit. He shows it to me.
I'd still be breathing over his neck when he saw in my soffit.
Well, I was in the kitchen. I'm out of the kitchen. I'm in the kitchen. I'm out of the kitchen. I had a daughter who was ill, so I'm going in, I'm going out, and he saws the hole. It was about 10 inches wide and 3 inches high. And then he said he thinks maybe I should have a second hole put in on the side. So I'm a little reluctant, but he said it's going to look really beautiful. So I said, okay. So he puts a second hole in, 10 inches wide by 3 inches high. And I have this huge box in my living room. It's like 50, 60 pounds waiting for the compressor to be put in. And he says he's leaving. I said, what do you mean you're leaving? He said he didn't have the registers with him. Well, what do you mean you don't have the registers with you? Where are they? He didn't stop at Home Depot to get them. I said, well, please go to Home Depot, come back. I've taken the day off from work, and go put the registers in and put the compressor in. And he said, well, you know, we'll try. We can't guarantee you're coming back. I'm like, what are you talking about? You have to come back. I need the refrigerator. I can't just have holes in my wooden
Why didn't he just put the compressor while he's there, even if he doesn't put the registers?
I don't know. I never got an answer, but he never came back.
How long had he been at your house?
Maybe to cut the holes, I don't know, half an hour?
So he just said, all right, I've cut the holes, now I'm leaving?
Yeah.
And did he come back?
No.
Did you try to get him to come back?
Yes, he gave me his cell phone number. I had it. I called and called and called.
And what would happen when you called and called and called?
Well, so he just left, I just left voicemails.
And he wouldn't get back to you?
No, I called the appliance company. I spoke to him 8 o'clock every morning, and I said, when is he coming back? They said that he was injured on the job. He hurt his back. He's in the hospital. 2 weeks go by. I said, how could the gentleman still be in the hospital? I don't believe it. You could have quadruple bypass surgery and be out 5 days later. I mean, nobody's in the hospital for 2 weeks. So they just never came back. I called the appliance, and they said, we don't know what to say. You know, we're trying to contact them. Nobody was coming back.
What's going on?
My turn?
Well, I'm looking at you, and I asked you what's going on. Do you think it maybe is your turn?
Sure.
Why did you walk off the job and never come back? Or is that not true?
That day, the registers were put in, the holes were put in to see if the heat would expel.
Right.
So we had to give the compressor time.
Did you install the compressor that day?
No, the compressor.
So then what are you giving time? The old compressor?
Her existing compressor. Ms. Perez was.
Why did you walk off? Can you answer that?
We were trying to save her money. The whole progression from May, and in fact, she only paid.
I'm sorry, you're trying to save her money how? I don't understand.
By not having to install a compressor that she paid $1,800 for unless it was absolutely necessary.
So did you tell her that?
Yes.
So when were you going to come back and see if it worked?
The whole progression.
I don't know what that means. In 24 hours, you can tell if the fridge got cold.
Correct.
So did you come back 24 hours later?
No, she had called my office, and then we said, okay, let's see, and let's confirm that this is in fact the compressor that can go in, because I didn't order the compressor. Ms. Perez did that on her phone with Northland directly without us. I wasn't in her kitchen to order her compressor at all. She ordered her.
I'm sorry, sir, why didn't you just go back and fix the problem? I'm not understanding why you don't go back and fix the problem.
The compressor's not for her unit.
When did you discover that in relation to the day you cut the holes?
A day or two after.
How did you discover it?
We called Northland yet again. I said, let's make sure that this is the unit, because they told us it's 50-50 whether this is going to work or not.
Who did?
Northland directly, the manufacturer.
Would you put your hand down? They told you that the unit that they sent may or may not work. It may or may not be the right unit?
Correct.
Because there's no compressor for that unit anymore.
Correct.
Okay, and?
Because Defiance was
So how do you know if the compressor worked or didn't? And if she paid for the compressor, what is it to you? Just put in the new compressor. So I don't understand. I didn't put in the new compressor for her own good. Well, when you hear her saying, would you just get over here and finish the job, don't you understand that that's what she wants and just go in and do it?
It's not as, cut and dry like that. From the very beginning, from when I walked in, we didn't charge her anything.
Can you just answer what I ask? I am asking you specifically, if she paid for the compressor.
I cannot put in a 6-prong compressor in a 12-prong environment.
Because it can't be put in?
It cannot be put in.
Wouldn't the manufacturer know that?
You would think.
Can't you retrofit it so that it fits in?
Per Northland, you cannot.
Well, then why did Northland send that?
That was between her and Northland.
Do you have any, did you tell her that? I can't put in that compressor, they sent you the wrong compressor?
That was never said, and according to this receipt, this is the receipt from the Northland refrigerator that says, as per Dave's order, he ordered the compressor and confirmed it was a 12-prong connection.
The packing slip says, has 12-prong connector per Dave, and then it has the name of your company.
Never spoke to me directly.
How do they get your name?
I'm an authorized servicer for Northland.
It doesn't matter. There's other authorized servicers. How would they know? What a coinkydink. They happen to know it's Dave.
I'm the owner.
And they say that, it doesn't matter. You listening to me?
Yes.
Who am I going to believe? You or my lion eyes? Where they say that they spoke to Dave which is your name, at the name of your business, who said X. They're making it up. Why?
It says spoke to Dave.
Are you listening to me? I'm going to say it one more time. Has 12-prong connection per Dave at, and then it's the name of your business. The exact name of your business that you don't want me to say. That's what the notes from the people who shipped it say. What is the real problem here? Is she difficult to deal with and you just didn't want to deal with her anymore?
I have a lot of customers that are difficult to deal with. And we try to go above and beyond to do our absolute best at a minimal cost to the customer, especially when they express financial hardships.
Yeah, but how come you didn't go back to her place and just kind of?
Because at this point, we were only $167 in, where I've been to her home about 7 different occasions. Where we've
She was just very high maintenance.
What? No, not. I mean, I'm married, so I have a high maintenance wife.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So what do you buy if you have to? Do you fix the compressor on the old refrigerator, which is a better one, or do you buy a new refrigerator that's cheaper?
I'd fix the compressor.
Because?
Because it's a better model.
Well, maybe a better model, but an older model, and then other things may break.
I would buy a new one, even if it was a lesser model, cheaper.
Just because it's more reliable.
Yeah, it's going to last much longer.
Okay, and sir?
I would buy a new one because I don't know many places that repair refrigerators.
Well, no, you could find one. Guess what you don't get?
Rare, right? No, they're not.
Guess what you don't get? You don't get a warranty on an old one, right? Going inside the courtroom.
Ending up in your courtroom was a direct result of the fact that the compressor wouldn't fit in her unit.
Which the people who sent the compressor say is your fault because you asked for a 12-prong connector. You said it had a 12-prong connector. All right, but in any event, let's see what happens after that. So they're not coming back, and they're not going to put in your compressor, and you've paid them up to that point, how much do you say?
Whatever was on that.
$317.12, is that accurate?
Yes.
All right, so in any event, now what happens is they're not going to come back. Well, how do you find out they're not going to come back?
I didn't know for a couple of weeks. I didn't even know that it wasn't the right compressor because he left. The compressor was still in the box. On that Monday, he was supposed to install the compressor. That was the reason that I was not, that was part of what he was supposed to come over and do. To keep the new compressor.
Yeah, I got to tell you, it defies logic that the lady pays for a new compressor, wants you to put it in, and you're trying to save her the money of a new compressor. She wants a new compressor. I think that maybe what happened is you realize, oh, shucks, I ordered the wrong compressor. I don't want to tell this lady I ordered the wrong compressor because she's kind of high-strung, and I'm going to get yelled at. And I got a high-strung lady at home, apparently, who I need to please. So he leaves, he kind of slithers out, and then he figures he's not going to deal with you, and he avoids your calls. Did you end up hospitalized?
No, I did not.
Did your office tell her you were hospitalized?
I went to the hospital because I hurt my back. Hospitalized is to spend the night. I didn't spend the night.
Okay, was your office telling her that you were in the hospital for all that time?
No. They said I was out with my back was hurt, which I was out for about a week.
So, can I see pictures of your kitchen?
Sure. This is the old, there's some in there, and this is after all the repairs were made. So at the end of August, I have a daughter
Once
home.
you realize they're not coming back, you end up hiring a new company.
Right, they came over.
Very retro. When was this kitchen built?
1988.
Yeah.
And it was all custom done. I mean, it was a pretty expensive refrigerator at the time. And all custom paper.
What do you end up doing?
I replaced the wooden soffit on top. Then I have to build a cabinet.
You mean patch the hole?
It wasn't patched. It couldn't be patched. I had to
replace the whole
tear it
thing?
down and replace it. And then a cabinet by the same people was built above the new refrigerator to
And that's
cover
here?
the large hole.
Okay.
So I wound up taking off the old wallpaper, painting the ceiling, re-wallpapering the whole kitchen, putting in a new baseboard.
So now he has to pay to repaper the entire, because you're suing for like $1,500 in wallpaper and labor. Oh, and a blind. You want him to pay for a $400 blind because what?
I spend a lot of time there, and I want it to look a certain way.
I understand, but if court is about making you whole, I've got to come up with a figure that's appropriate to do that. You can't just re-wallpaper your whole kitchen, buy new blinds, put new cabinets in, and then say, you got to pay it because you put a hole in my thing that I didn't need. So I've got to kind of figure out what is the appropriate measure of damages.
I understand, Your Honor.
Right.
And I was willing to spend as much as $2,000 or $2,500 to try and just repair an old refrigerator precisely because I wanted it to look nice. I wanted it to have the wallpaper that was there before. I felt he should have come back. He should have known before he cut the holes, and that he could have worked with me on just getting my kitchen to look nice again.
Yeah. I think he fled because I think he realized we ordered the wrong compressor. And we're done, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach a value to it, which is really rough justice on my part because this is, I know it's certainly not going to be $3,000 because you don't get to have brand new wallpaper, which I think looks way better. You don't get to have a new refrigerator and new cabinetry, which is much nicer. I am going to find in favor of the plaintiff in this case because I believe that this was a breach of responsibility on the part of the defendant. I am going to order a payment to her in the amount of $700. That is my verdict.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the plaintiff here, coming in the courtroom, out of the courtroom, the defendant. I know, you lost.
Yes.
You didn't flee the scene because
No
you had ordered
fleeing.
the wrong part.
No.
All right around the corner this way, and let's see what the plaintiff has to say about this. All right, come on in here. You satisfied with what you got? You sued for more than you wound up with.
Well, I think it was fair. I wish it had been a little bit more because it was a beautiful kitchen. But I'm happy with the way it came out, and just hope that doesn't happen to anyone else.
Was it fair to try to get him to redecorate your whole kitchen here?
Well, I
your
felt it was
claim?
fair to ask him to replace the wallpaper because it was wallpaper to begin with, and I wanted it to be restored to the way it was originally, which was wallpapered above the refrigerator. But I'm not unhappy. I'm satisfied.
Okay. All right. Over to Harvey then.
Okay, a short and sweet point that when you sue for something that's damaged or whatever, you cannot get more than the market value of the item at the time of the loss. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.